Have you ever noticed how many times do you breathe in a minute? A dog usually breathes 35 times a minute and lives for around 12 to 13 years. A snake breathes 65 times a minute and lives for around 5 years. On the other hand, a tortoise breathes just one time in 2 minutes and lives for around 240 years. Hello everyone. In today's scenario, everyone is suffering from psychosomatic issues, which are the suicidal tendencies, depressions, anxieties and stress. 83% of the diseases arise due to the psychosomatic issues. Therefore, when anxiety becomes chronic, it turns into stress. But can I give you steps to reduce your stress? Well, that is not possible. But yes, I can give you some of the measures to measure your stress level. So what is the first thing when stress hits you hard? What is the first thing that is affected is your heart. So how do you know that you are at the stress level is because of your heartbeat. So which is the normal heartbeat and which is the stress level heartbeat? Let's just look at it. So there are various kinds of heart rate, which is the basal heart rate, peak heart rate, where you need to subtract 220 minus the age. So suppose you are 30 years of age, okay? So you need to subtract 220 minus 30 and you'll get your peak heart rate. So usually peak heart rate is when you are cycling or jogging, okay? Then maximum heart rate, working heart rate is 80 to 85 beats per minute, or it can reach up to 90 also. And the normal heart rate is 70 to 75 beats per minute. To measure basal heart rate is very simple. You just need to place your 4 fingers on your wrist early in the morning before getting up from your bed and count for 10 seconds into 4. If the count rate comes around 64, you are absolutely normal. If it comes somewhere around 65 to 75, you create trouble for yourself. And if it exceeds 75, you are at the risk of stress. The second criteria to measure your stress level is temperature. So people with a lot of anxiety or stress disorder, when you shake hands with them, you'll notice that their hands are very cold. So the normal skin temperature is 28 to 32 degrees Celsius. If it is somewhere between 25 to 28, then you're inviting problems for yourself. And if it is below 25, then you are at a high risk of stress level. Third criteria for measuring stress is respiration. So normally human beings, they respire for 15 to 18 times per minute. And it's very important that when we respire, the inhalation has to be shorter and the exhalation time has to be longer. So sometimes people tend to exhale or respire for 23 to 28 times per minute. So they are at a very high risk of stress. So this was the 3 methods by which you can know that whether you are at the risk of stress. But there are other methods as well, which is the electrodermal, electromyography and brain mapping, which requires an instrument to measure your stress level. So in the end, I'd like to end with a small message. There was a fellow who goes to a florist for the floral arrangement for the new office inaugurated by his friend. So when he goes in the office, there was a wreath which was written, "Rest in peace." So this fellow is really mad and he storms in the florist office and is screaming and is mad and is ranting in front of him, "What did you do?" And this florist, very calmly, he replies, "Yes, I made a mistake. But it's not that bad. Just imagine someone out there might be buried with good luck with your new location." So this was a small message like how we can turn things into humor and how humor is very important in our life. And it's very important to listen as well. So these are the 2 factors which can contribute a lot while, reducing our stress level.